Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. We're going to start our ongoing meditation session now. So you can keep relax your back, neck, head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And then while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to give authentic information for yourself to develop and master meditation by practicing with your own experience. Why we cannot teach you? This is not teaching. Dharma we cannot teach. This is not the schooling dharma. So especially meditation, you have to gain the experience by yourself. That is where the cultivation of your mind going to happen. So you know the cultivation, the word, the mostly when it comes to farming, that we use the word cultivate. So you have to watering, you have to take caring, and you have to take out unnecessary weeds, and you have to protect from the wild animals. So you have to do a lot of things, and you have to interfere step by step. There is a process you have to keep work. As a result of that process, you're going to gain the result. So the mental practice also the same. You have to be with it. You have to interfere with it. And then by the time you can gain the result according to the practice. So you have to remember one thing. You are responsible for your own life. So that is sometimes, it's a little bit hard to understand. Because in day-to-day life, we have husband, wife, children, parents, brothers, sisters. We are more sharing our life with other people. And because of that, we don't see that deeper what is happening with us. And we cannot understand ourselves, how our life is belong to our own behavior. So when you practice meditation little by little, it will help you to understand this nature. And once you understand it deeply, there are changes going to happen. Without that understanding, it is very difficult. You are more interfering with others. And in conventional life, we know our life mostly based on emotions. Why this life mostly based on emotions? Because the reason is it comes from imagination. If you look very carefully, can you come to any idea without any kind of help from imagination? So from where the imagination comes? Imagination comes from the informations we receive through eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. Mind information is related to our past experience. So when that information comes, out of that information, imagination happens. So as a result of that imagination, what happens? The emotions arise. Emotions, another way, means the energy in motion. So imagination itself creates energy. So it's like imagination itself, like a current, as you know, in your brain. This always the firing happens with the neutrons. It's always the electron work. So so this current always there. When you drop the imagination, emotions disappear. So that is a technique that you can practice in day-to-day life. That see, because as you know, sometimes we give diet to this body. You know, we stay away from certain kind of food. So you can practice to have a mental diet. You get out of imagination. How you can do that? This will reduce your emotions. As example, for a day, if you look very carefully, morning, early morning, and then afternoon time, and then the evening, at night, if you look very carefully, your mind go in a certain same kind of pattern. And in that same pattern, what happened? Your mind create a certain kind of the same imagination every day in that according to that time. As example, when you wake up, if you look very carefully, you have the same behavior to think about same kind of things. And then when you wake up and then maybe you do your cleaning, and then after that you go for a coffee or maybe a tea. So while you're making the tea, same kind of thoughts happening in your mind. And maybe when you're drinking your tea, the same kind of ideas come to your mind. And when you have the breakfast, and if you drive, the same kind of thoughts come to you. Even if you go to office or you start work from home, or maybe you have any kind of conversation, the same kind of imagination come to you. Even in the evening, or maybe at night, maybe when you have the dinner, the same kind of imagination in your mind. And then when you go to sleep, if you look very carefully, the same kind of thoughts come to you. So then the imagination is create a kind of like a pattern that itself build up the emotions inside us. It's nothing wrong. This is a very natural behavior happening in us. So when you understand it, it will help you to clear yourself and get out of it. So the mind has this pattern, and it always create that pattern, and it go with it. So how you can do the mental diet. Mental diet is like this. It's well-known practice for certain people, and even you can restart your conventional life, not the spiritual way, just your ordinary life. If you want to have a new beginning, if you want to change your ordinary lifestyle, still you can, there are a lot of people use this. So now you understand what kind of thoughts come to you every day, and then consciously you start to block that thought. As example, when you wake up, before you get out of the bed, you lie down and you start to think the same kind of things. So then mental diet means you don't do it when you wake up tomorrow. Right away, you jump out of the bed. You don't create like an ordinary time period. And maybe when you make the coffee, so you take some time. So you reduce that time. How you can do? Before you sleep, you get ready all your copy machine or your tea and everything ready for tomorrow. And then when you wake up right away, you do your cleaning, brush your teeth, wash your face, and then if you take a shower, you take a shower. So like that, you do it. And then right away you go and make the coffee or tea, and then be like, then you don't spend too much time to think. Why? Because everything ready for that. You already keep it ready yesterday before you sleep. And then maybe while you're having the coffee, if you look very carefully, or tea, you go to the same kind of place. You sit in the same way and the same chair, maybe the environment. So you take a decision to you change the environment. Maybe every day, inside the house, or maybe early morning, you make your cup of tea or coffee, you go out. You keep your chair outside and then maybe have your coffee or tea. See, that time, deeply what happening, the mental pattern change. So then it's kind of like you don't allow that other, same kind of thoughts to come to your mind. It is the mental diet. And when you go to sleep, especially, before you sleep, if you look very carefully, the same kind of the pattern happen in you. So you change that pattern a little bit, shake it. Then suddenly what happened, the mind cannot follow that pattern. And then maybe you suddenly go to sleep without watching TV or having a conversation. You just go to sleep. So like that, you change the behavior, and deeply it will help you. And another thing I'll mention, that we have this pattern creating the image inside us, and that's where the emotions come. And then, as you know, after they invent this television, and then the computer came, and the cell phones came, as you know, the video games overtook the entire young generation. And the one of the thing, because these machines have the same kind of patterns and go and create the image, it's the same, exactly same kind of behavior happening in our brain, and the machines also the same. So now, after one generation, the first generation that experienced all the visuals, and they had a kind of like enjoying it, and because it is something new. And then what happened? And as you know, the millennials after 1980, who were born, and their brain completely changed. So now what happened? When the child come to mother's womb, or even the young people, once they get married, and from after the wedding day, most of the time, they're spending time watching TVs or watching, they always interfere with the visuals. Even that when the child people that come to the mother's womb, the mother become pregnant, that the mother hold this, the neuron, this all the system have a deeper connection with the visuals. So even once the child come to mother's womb, and while we rest, the mother resting, the most of time what they does, they watch the TV or the computer or the cell phone. So then what happened? This child brain have a deeper connection to the visuals. So the mind has the same mechanism to imagine. And out of that, emotions come. So now what happened? We found this outside, that the same mechanism. That's why the mind is so hungry for visuals, pictures. Mind is so hungry. Mind goes so crazy for pictures. And if you don't eat, it is okay for you sometimes. And if you don't have the shelter, it is okay. You can sleep under a tree. But if these children, it doesn't matter that anything, but if they don't have internet now, their mind go crazy. If the cable doesn't work, if the TV doesn't work, they cannot live. And sometimes they think it is the end of the world. Why? Because the mind so much hunger for these visuals. The reason is the same mechanism happening inside us. We also always imagine. Out of that imagination, today, our reality happening. That is what happens. So with our perception, from eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, we get the information. And out of that information, imagination happens. And out of that imagination, the reality happens. That's what we take as reality. See how far we disconnect from the reality. So as example, just if you want to start a business, what you do? The very first thing that you do, you start to look how other people do the business. Then what happened? Once you analyze, you get the information, and then you start to imagine something in you, then you invent your business. And it looks like something new. This is the tricky point happening. It looked like something new, but it is not new. You already went through imagination from the information you gathered, whatever is already here. And then you give something, and then people say, it is something very new, which is very good. Maybe you will become very successful. But deeply we caught up in the pattern. Anything the same. If you want to go for a vacation now, you know what the important thing is, you start to look what other people told. See, just when it comes to the mind, it's a person to person, experience different. Of course, in a common sense, it is very necessary. We have to look what other people say. But what happened deeply, when you get the information from another person, your mind drops the capacity to experience the truth as it is. Why? Because it is very difficult for you to drop that information. So this is the thing. We live in that information, and then we look for that, and then we bring it as form. So our imagination, our information we gathered, and we develop as an imagination. That imagination we bring as form or the material, and then we experience it as the world. And then we think, it is real. So as example, this ball, we think, oh, it is real. Why? We can touch it, we can see it. If you want, we can smell, or if we hit, or there is a sound come, oh, this is real. But we don't see how this came like this. This didn't appear from somewhere. This came through the imagination. That is what you have to tap into. This came out of the imagination. Before they create this, they had something in their mind, took from information from outside. So now, even though we experience this as real, the very roots come from imagination. So then if you apply it to anything in your life, you will see that imagination overtook our life. And that is one thing we detach from the reality. So that's why we have to go back to it. So then when it comes to meditation, so the one of the important thing now, even the meditation also people use to increase the imagination. Then it's not going to go to the development of the mind. Only thing happen what? That as we experience the reality in very conventional level of reality, what does that mean? This material world may be going to become with something new, and people come with different experience, and we will go with it. But there is no way we can end this. So to end this, then how we can start? That is where this tranquility meditation and vipassana meditation help. Not to create, not to go with this, not to go with this imagination-based development of this world, emotion-based experience, not that way. Completely neutralizing and shut down the system. How you can do it? In the very first level, now for our human body, we need the rest. Imagine that all the sport field, that whatever the sport, anything, even in the military, even in whatever that the people interfere with the heavy physical work, one of the important thing they does before their event, they take a good rest. If before you get tired, they get a good rest. So then the one of the important thing yourself, most of our anxiety, depression, unhappiness, sadness, worry, disappointment, and the most of the disease nowadays can happen. And even the pain, unnecessary pain in our body can happen because we don't take enough quality rest. So then you have to be aware yourself with the body. When it comes to meditation, maintaining a very good rest is very important. So that doesn't mean you don't do anything. No, you interfere with the profitable actions. So most of us busy, but end of the day, it is not profitable for us. End of our life, we will look back and we become more worried, sad, unhappy, whatever the things we have done. So that means it is not profitable. So then yourself, when you work, when you physically active, look into yourself and see, is it profitable for me? And then you can do that. For that practicing it, even that, you have to have very mental, physical discipline. So to have a good rest, Another thing is even that there is that in yoga, it says that observe the cat. In the animal world, cat is one of the animal take a very good rest. You may see the dogs, elephants, horse, most of the strong animal, lions, they get tired. You have seen, the lion is the king, but still sometimes lions get tired. They put the tongue out and then like that, you see how they, try to get, but look, you never saw a cat, very tired cat. The cat is the animal from the ancient time, 10,000 years, that this in the yogic methods, it says, observe the cat, and then you will see how the cat rests. And it will deeply help you to understand how you can rest yourself. So you have to understand it and you have to give it to your body. And when it comes to meditation, when you close your eyes, and another thing is, resting your eyes is very important, especially nowadays. Why? Because we are interfering with this all the visuals, light, this all created. And more than the natural light, even we are interfere with this artificial light. Even daytime now, most of people, they don't live in sunlight. They inside the room and maybe with the curtain and covered all the windows and putting the AC, and they live, even in the daytime, they're living with this artificial light. And that is one reason deeply we disconnect this human system. So that's why you have to learn to rest your eyes. And if you have problem with sleeping sometimes, and in day-to-day life, and maybe mentally you get tired, and remember to mentally that relax your eyes. So especially when it comes to meditation, when you sit, when you close your eyes, give the complete rest to your eyes, and that will help the entire system to relax. Why? Because that as you know, is deeply this whole your nerve system, the brain, heart, this everything have a deeper relationship with eyes. That's why whenever the pressure so high, the very first place that you can see your eyes. Another thing is the tongue, and relax your tongue and let it settle down itself. Don't hold it tight inside. And when you relax your tongue, what happened deeply, it release this whole system related to all the guts, abdominal area. So all the organs start to settle down naturally. But look, in day-to-day life, mostly we keep talking, or maybe mostly eating. We don't give enough rest. So that is why resting is art. Another thing is, it's mostly, once you learn that, we mostly get busy and we addicted to being busy. We always need to do something. We always need to talk something. We always need to eat something. It is an addiction. And even while you're sleeping, some people are talking. They cannot get out of it. So then remember yourself to practice. That's why you need practice to break down that habit. So once you settle down with the body, 50%, your whole system start to settle down, and that will help you to slowly tune to the wisdom happening around you. Then it will help you to understand that all the perception you can understand without imagination. That is the beauty. That is something that you gain out of the practice. That is the power of human mind. There is a way you can experience something without imagination. So that's called direct perception, clear comprehension, or sati sampajan. So once you come to that, you come to the flow and you go with the current. And then that will help you to settle down, and that is another way we call tranquility state or the samadhi. Once you have it, now you see the perception. And then you recognize the consciousness or this awareness also happen as a result of, as a part of the perception. It's a deeper connection. So then you see, you can understand how this that interconnect. In the very first level, yourself, when you're able to recognize that how the perception change moment by moment, moment by moment, and followed by that perception, the awareness, the consciousness also change moment by moment. And that is where you slowly understand this self is not permanent. So once you come to that you experience everything moment by moment change, and that is not because you recognize it because of information. You not recognize it because of imagination. It is very clear experience. And once something become very clear to yourself, it become your own wisdom. That is very necessary for you. Once you have that your own wisdom, from that point, you become your own master to move forward. So that is where we go. So we start with our own inhalation, exhalation in front of our nose and upper lip area to observe itself and allowing it to happen itself. So without interfering to that natural process, try to first level, settle down your body, calm down yourself and give the complete rest. And then deeply start to observe the inhalation, exhalation and follow that change. So if your mind go here and there, don't struggle with it. Again and again, again and again, remind yourself and come back to the beginning point, your inhalation, exhalation. So with that, we're going to practice a little bit. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line. So be comfortable with your posture. Bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Supatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And allow your inhalation, exhalations happen itself. Do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this with clear intention. Mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Also may all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Maya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Attaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadhi Maranam Paribunjisami Dhammi Punya Kammam Asavakkaya Vaham Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu. Bless you.